Hello drummers, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com. Welcome to this free full video song lesson where today I'm going to show you how to play the song The Joker and the Thief by Wolfmother, drummed by Myles Heskett. This was a very popular song suggestion over on my Facebook page, so I'm very excited to be able to show you how to play this today. If you want to make your own song suggestions, then you can go over to the Facebook page, you'll find a link below, or you can type it into the comments below. I can't promise anything, but you never know in the future. If a very popular song gets chosen in the comments then and gets lots of upvotes, then I'll certainly consider it for the future. You can download the full PDF drum chart for this song for free. Again, the link is beneath this video to take you to my website. You can get all 4 pages with fully notated drum charts. Have this printed out in front of you as we go through this together. It's going to make things a lot easier for you to understand. And then while you're over at my website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for £97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. And I'm sure I'll be adding more Wolfmother in the future, so you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to in the future as well. But I'll talk more about that at the end of the lesson. So, 147 BPM, it's a fast song this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the key to this song is being able to feel triplets. The song is in triplets or a shuffle. There's very few sections where you're not sort of needing to feel the triplets. So with a triplet, in this case, we're going to get both types of triplets in this, 8th notes and quarter notes. Don't worry about that too much yet. But we're going to get 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, or diddle 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 diddle. However you want to feel it, however you want to count it. Just understand that we're feeling groups of 3. And then when you're not playing all 3 notes in that one beat, a sort of shortcut is to feel it as shuffle instead. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you've been playing drums for a while, this is a more intermediate advanced lesson, so you should be at that sort of level already where you've played along to a few songs in triplets, whether you realised it or not. Then that feel that sort of feel should be relatively familiar to you. If not, we're going to go through this together, so hopefully it'll make sense to you. So we start off with 4 bars of intro with the guitar, and then Myles comes in with the hi-hat where we get our first sense of this shuffle and triplet combination. So without the open hi-hat stuff and the extra ghost note stuff, the basic rhythm he's playing is 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1. Beat 1 is 1 and 3 and then the 2 triplet and 4 triplet are filled up the whole beat with triplet notes. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet. That's the feel he's going for, where we're filling up a whole bar with 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1. On top of that, we get this open hi-hat note at the first bar, 1 and 2 triplet. So that open hi-hat on beat 1 closes with the next right hand. By the way, the sticking is, as you can see underneath the chart, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. It's just leading with your right hand every time. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1. You can see there's no open hi-hat on beat 3. Then for bar 2, we get, it's very subtle, but I thought I'd include it, these little ghost notes in the middle triplet note of beat 1 and beat 3. So it's kind of, it's 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So I'm filling in that middle triplet note on beats 1 and 3 with a little quiet left hand. It's just right, left, right, left, right, left all the way through that bar. But remember to emphasise those accents on beats 1 and 3 still. We then go into bar 3 where we get the open hi-hat again, just in beat 1. And then bar 4 is just, the next line we get the open hi-hat again. Bar 2 has the ghost note in beat 3. And then bar 3, did I say bar 3? I meant beat 3. Bar 3. But then beat 3 of bar 3 as our first quarter note triplets. This is the other set of triplets you need to feel comfortable with. And luckily they're related to the eighth note triplets. So we're feeling 3 notes per beat, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Technically and correctly, what quarter note triplets are, we're playing every second eighth note triplets. Triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So we get the pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now, if you want to practice trying to count that, that's going to do you very well in the future. You'll be able to play more advanced things later on. But for now, if you just want to sort of memorize the rhythm in your head, you can sort of hear the song perhaps, where we get da 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 da. One and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Because counting quarter note triplets is quite the mouthful and perhaps unnecessary once you've got the basics down. If you practice the quarter note triplets slowly while counting, then it's sort of ingrained in your mind, in your rhythmic mind, and you can sort of just throw it out naturally. And if you listen to the song and play along to the song, then the song's going to help you play those quarter note triplets in time anyway. So that third bar, 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Then we go into the toms, where he plays quarter note triplets over the entire length of the bar. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So 3, 2, 1, and they're flams on each of those drums. So when we go into the intro part 2, I've called it, we get the bass drum on beat 1, followed by just 3 quarter note hi-hat steps just to keep us in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, not to lose the pulse of the song because the pulse isn't changing. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just how we're splitting up each of those beats that's changing. So we get this 2-bar pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 da. So I'm not counting that, I'm sort of feeling it. I've got it ingrained, that quarter note triplet in my mind. So we go on for the first 2 lines. That 2 bars get played twice for each line. And then the same for the third line as well. But before we go on, let me now play for you what we got up to speed. I'm going to play starting from the second line of the intro and then the first 2 lines of part 2 of the intro as well. So we get those quarter note triplets in context with the eighth note triplet hi-hat stuff. Without the microphone on, so you can hear just the drums. Here we go. So like I said, the third line of the intro part 2 is the same as the previous 2 lines. Then we go into what I've called the bridge and we get our first choked crash cymbal. 1, 2, so you just strike it and choke it with your other hand. And then we're just stepping quarter notes on the hi-hat foot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. But the last 2 bars, bar 7 and 8, we get 2 more choke crash cymbals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. By the way, Myles doesn't play the hi-hat step foot at the same time as the choke crash cymbal and bass drum, but you could if you wanted to. So then we go into verse 1, we get this real sense of the shuffle being played. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We got some triplets being played as well, but we get this every 2 bars, this very strong sense of the shuffle as we're about to see. It starts off on the ride cymbal for the first line, and we're simply playing 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple as that, quarter notes. But then bar 2, we get this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We get and 3 and 4 and 1. Notice the bass drum is on beat 3 and on beat 4. So the 2-bar phrase is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. We then go with the next 2 bars where we get 1, 2, 3, 4. But bar 4, we get our next drum fill. It's 1, 2, and I think he plays a drag, left hand drag on the and of 2, the triplet and of 2. 1, 2, and 3, and 3. Open hi-hat into the open hi-hat there, and 3. And then we come down to the snare drum to play, starting from the and of beat 3, where the hi-hat closes, and 4 triplet 1, and 4 triplet 1. So notice the whole of beat 4 is filled with triplets, and 4 triplet 1. Right hand lead. And the bass drum comes down with the left hand on beat 4. A bit confusing to explain it like that. Probably easier if you just let me play it around a few times. Easier for me as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4 triplet 1. And I missed out the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, and 4 triplet 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4 triplet 1. Now what I'm doing there is I'm closing the hi-hat on beat 4. You might want to do that as well. It's kind of hard to hear exactly where Myles closes the hi-hat. I've written it closing on the and of beat 3, but it probably makes more sense to close it on beat 4. It's probably what Myles does as well. It's very hard to hear where, because the rest of the drums are so loud, where that hi-hat closes officially. So I'd probably close it on beat 4 to make it easier. And again, don't leave out the bass drum. When you play it in context though, you kind of want to play that bass drum because you've been used to playing that kind of thing. So bars 3 and 4. 1, 2. Again, I missed it out. I'll keep this mistake in. That was a bit better. So the first line. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1. A bit better. But I'm hesitating because I'm on camera and I don't want to make the same mistake more than 3 times because that makes me look like an idiot. Very amateurish, which I'm not. So we go on to the second line where we get the closed hi-hat part of the song, of the verse. 2-bar pattern, very, very simple. Starts with a crash cymbal though in bar 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Next line, last line, bars 1 and 2, standard stuff. Bar 3 has the crash cymbal. Bar 4 also has a crash cymbal. And we get this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So instead of playing and 3, and 4, and, it's and 3, and 4, and. I use this tom and this tom, you could use that tom and that tom. It really doesn't matter as long as you're going down the toms. And it ends with the snare drum on the and of 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. So it's the same thing as this. I'm just moving your right hand to the toms instead. We then go into the second half of verse 1 where we get back to the ride cymbal. For all 3 lines of this, we get the first 2 bars standard stuff. Bar 4 has this idea again. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet 1. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet 1. I'm getting the bass drum comfortable now. Don't know what that was. It's a mental click there that suddenly made sense. So the first line. There we go, that was much cleaner. So second line, more of the same stuff. Look out for the crash cymbal in bar 3. Bar 4, we get line 3, bar 2 going into bar 3. Just choke the crash cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're into our first chorus. So before I do, let me now play this for you properly. The whole of verse 1, both on page 1 and page 2, so all 6 lines, up to speed. Here we go. So we now come to the coolest part of the song, drumming-wise. This is probably what most of you wanted to learn, how to play this thing. We're playing, on the bell of the ride cymbal, this quarter note triplet idea. This kind of polyrhythm where we're playing the quarter note triplet, it's not really a polyrhythm at all. It's just, it's quite an advanced basic thing, if that makes sense. It's one of the first sort of polyrhythmic-y things that drummers learn. We're basically playing this across triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Right, left, right, left, right, left. And your right hand naturally, if you start it with your right hand, it's going to come out on those quarter note triplets. Again, remember that quarter note triplets is just playing every 2 notes. So if you're filling in the space with your left hand, you're naturally going to do that. The tricky bit is you're not playing all the left hand notes. You're leaving out on beats 1 and 3 the middle note of the triplets. But then beats 2 and 4 are kind of easier because you are playing both the left hand notes. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go straight to bar 3 to start off with, because bar 1, for whatever reason, he doesn't play the 2 bass drums on 1 and the and of 1. And for later in for the rest of the chorus, he does every time play boom, boom, bat, bat, boom, boom, bat, bat. That's the bass drum snare drum pattern. So we're looking at bar 3 on line 1. Without the crash cymbal at the beginning, so we can just stay on the bell of the ride cymbal, we get 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1 and 2 triplet, 3 and 4 triplet, 1. It's not as hard as it sounds. Maybe it doesn't sound hard to you at all, but it's for those who are freaked out by that, you'll find it's just a motion, a movement that you sort of naturally learn after a while. The tricky bit is coming off it and playing these drum fills, then going back to it without hesitation. So going back to bar 1, we get just the 1 bass drum on beat 1, but you certainly could play the bass drum on 1 and the and. But he plays 1 and 2 triplet, 3, and then we settle into the pattern. Bar 2, we get our first drum fill. And that left hand still plays that second snare drum note, but our right hand's going to come off and we're going to play 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Now, sometimes instead of playing that, I play this. It doesn't matter what 2 toms you use, as long as you're going down a set of 2 toms. So 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So we're playing full sets of triplets there. Bar 3, we go back to the quarter note idea. Bar 4, we get this open hi-hat, 1 and I've written it closed on the and of 1, but you could close it on beat 2 if you wanted to. 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Now I've written that again as the high tom. It's kind of hard for me to go over like that. I'm going to use this tom instead. It doesn't matter what tom you use. You could even use the floor tom. You're not going to notice a change in melody on the toms for this. So we get 1 and 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Start with the right hand on the and of 1. And the bass drum comes down on beat 3. Back to the quarter note triplet idea. Bars 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop. I'm pointing out where the crash cymbals are. You can see there's 1 crash cymbal on bar 3. Bar 4, we get this drum fill. 1 and 2 triplet to the closed hi-hat for some reason. I'm not sure if I choose to play that, but perhaps I play a crash cymbal instead. 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Again, I've written it as the high tom. I'm going to use this tom. It really doesn't matter what tom you use. 3 triplet, 4 triplets. The last 2 notes on the tom. Then the next line, we go straight to bar 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So just a whole bar of triplets there. Last line, go straight to bar 4. We get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So I went down the toms there. I read it as high and medium. I played medium low. It really doesn't matter. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. You see, it's quite hard for me to do that tom because of my weird setup. One thing I mentioned is that sometimes, and I think I'm about to show you this, okay, I just subconsciously do it, is I want to play the bass drum on beat 3, but I've actually been careful with the transcription here. Where you don't see a bass drum, Myles doesn't play one. But if you want to sort of maintain that 1, 2, 3 on the bass drum, and that's what I would do, and he does in certain bars, and then sometimes he doesn't with others, then you certainly can. So don't feel annoyed with yourself if you accidentally play the bass drum on beat 3 of that drum fill, for example, because that's what I would naturally do. Because that's what you've been doing in previous bars. So a lot of stuff there in those 4 lines. When you break it down, it's not too complicated. It's just a case of getting this in your head. Feeling comfortable playing triplets, going back to it afterwards, and just learning these various drum fills. Let me now play for you all 4 lines up to speed. Okay, we got through the hardest part of the song there. We know all our sections. It's just a case of what's changing. We've got one more variation drum beat section, a middle 8 coming up, but it's not that complicated. So if we go to bridge 2, choke crash cymbal, 4 more bars of stepped hi-hat. Verse 2, very similar to verse 1. Bar 4 has up on the right cymbal, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So it's just all on the snare drum. But he plays the hi-hat there on beat 3 for whatever reason. You could keep it up on the right cymbal. Line 2, standard stuff, moving to the hi-hat now. Line 3, we get 1 open hi-hat, 1, 2, 3, 4, opens for the whole of that beat. Then 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 bars of that. We then go into verse 2 continued, where we're back up to the right cymbal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Bar 4 has this cool drum fill. 1, 2, and 3. Before we played and 4, in fact we're still going to play and 4, but he's going to fill in the final 2 triplet notes with his left hand. And 4 triplet 1. It means that we come out with our right hand comfortably. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet 1. Left, right, left, crash. Line 2, more of the same stuff. Line 3, more of the same stuff we talked about already in previous verses. Then we go into chorus 2, and I'm just going to move to where the drum fills are. Ignore the crash cymbals, well, I'm not going to mention them. They're basically every 2 bars, the crash cymbals, by the looks of it. Again, the chorus, the first bar starts with just the 1 bass drum, nothing on the end of 1. You could if you wanted to. Bar 2, we've gone over already, it's this drum fill. And 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Bar 4 comes down to the closed hi-hat. 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Very simple drum fill that. Just all on the snare drum. Line 2, we got bar 4, we got this drum fill again. 1 and 2 and 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Just going down 2 toms. Line 3, bar 4 is the very simple drum fill. And then line 4, for bar 4 we get 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and then down all 3 toms. 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Then I'm going to go into this break tom section. So before I do, let me just play for you all 4 lines of chorus 2. Here we go. So for this next section, which I've called the break, in brackets toms, we're basically playing our intro again. the second part of the intro. But instead of stepping the hi-hat foot, we're going to be playing the bass drum, and we're going to be maintaining the bass drum on quarter notes through the tom section again. So this is kind of tricky because now you've got quarter note triplets up here and quarter notes down here. So we get this kind of rhythm when we combine them. If I play all the quarter note triplets with the right hand on the snare drum while maintaining beats 1, 2, 3 and 4 on the bass drum, we get this. Is that called a 3/2 polyrhythm? Or 2/3? I always forget which way round it is. It is one of those basic polyrhythms that every drummer learns eventually to hear, but that's what we're going to be getting. So we need to learn this second bar where we get so combine the two bars together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you've got that locked down, it's not very difficult to repeat. It's just going into it comfortably for the first time. What I kind of see is we got this 1 triplet, 2 trip, this and 2 triplet bit there where we get this alternation, and then back down with a downbeat. It's only really half a bar you've got to learn, it's just then orchestrating it. So we get that for 3 lines there, exactly the same every time. Then we go into what I call the instrumental chorus on page 4. Back to our ride cymbal pattern, 2 bass drums at the beginning this time on 1 and the and. Bar 2 has this drum fill, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. I haven't written a closed hi-hat note, so you could just keep it open. Close it where you like. Then we go into bar 4 where we get, that drum fill. 4. Then line 2 we get for bar 2. Down 2 sets of toms. I've written it as high and medium. You could use those like I do. And again, I accidentally played the bass drum on beat 3. It's just instinctive. He doesn't, so if you want to leave it out, fine. Bar 4 of that line. Both played on the same tom, I notice. So either that tom or that tom. Again, you can go down the toms. You've done that previously, but there's just a variation where he plays both those tom notes on the same tom. Next line, bar 2, that drum fill, bar 4, that drum fill. So we've gone over all of those already. We then go into bridge 3, which we then go into a half-time fill. So the tempo doesn't change. We're still feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, but we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So beat 3 has this upbeat triplet note. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So we're still feeling that shuffle beat going by. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. We then go to the next line where that 2-bar pattern gets repeated another 4 times. And then we go into bridge 4, but before I do, let me now play for you from the second page, from page 3, the very last line, so we get that last line of the break toms, then the whole of the instrumental chorus and the whole of bridge 3. Here we go. So for bridge 4, we're going to be playing 1, and then just tapping hi-hat foots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar 2 has this cool idea though. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Just strike the hi-hat on the ands, and because your foot is tapping, it's going to naturally create the open close effect. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. Bar 3, standard stuff. Bar 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. He doesn't play the and of 4, he just plays the and of 3. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 into our final verse. Verse 3. First line, go straight to bar 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet. Simple as that. I played 1, 2, and 3, and 4 triplet 1. Make sure you come down with your right hand for that, so you come out with your right hand. You might accidentally forget it, and then in which case you've got to come out with your left hand to play the crash. Not impossible, but it'd be easier if you come down with the right hand. Line 2, standard stuff. Line 3, standard stuff, but we get this extended stab section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. In fact, the first stab there on bar 3 isn't choked, he just lets it ring. Then the next 3 bars are choked. We're looking at the last line now. Then our final drum fill before we end is 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Again, the same tom being used, I believe. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplets. Then into a crash with the bass drum playing quarter notes. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and then continuing the last half of the bar on the toms, starting on the medium tom, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 1 and then 2. So in context, that last line, 1, 2, play slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. You know. So we're going from, one last time, we're getting, it's all quarter note triplets, just orchestrated differently. So before we finish, let me now play for you the last 2 lines of verse 3 so we get that outro up to speed. Here we go. So I hope you had fun with this lesson. If you've got any questions, you can email me, rob@drumstotheword.com. Don't forget to download all 4 pages of the PDF for free from my website. Again, the link is beneath this video. And then while you're over at the website, you might want to consider signing up to become an online member. And what I currently offer for £97 is a full year's online access to every single full video song lesson I've ever recorded and transcribed. That's over 600 famous and popular songs, where just like this lesson I teach the song from start to finish. You get the fully transcribed PDF drum chart, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm sure I'll be doing more Wolfmother in the future, so if you're a Myles Heskett fan, I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of him. As a thank you for signing up, I give you access to hundreds more little videos teaching you many famous drum beats, fills and even drum solos. I'll give you 3 ebooks I've written over the years containing hundreds more famous drum beats, fills and solos. And then over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new material that I upload for my members. And I record new lessons every week unless I'm ill or on holiday. So you've got lots of cool stuff to look forward to over the year of your subscription. But any questions about any of that, then feel free to email me, rob@drumstotheword.com. And until our next drum lesson together, toodle pip and happy drumming to you.